Alright guys, welcome back to another Shrine review. I didn't forget this week, guys. Look at that. So, enough of the intro. Let's just get straight into these perks. First up, we have Fixated. This is a teachable from Nancy Wheeler, and this is actually a really fun perk in my opinion. Essentially what it does is it allows you to see where your scratch marks are, and it allows you to move a little bit faster while you're walking and you're healthy. This is actually really solid against Spirit in general, but just in general, I think Fixated is a really solid survivor perk because it allows you to learn how your scratch marks form on the wall, and it lets you understand how it is that you might be able to manipulate them to try and help you as much as you can. Do I think this is worth buying? Yeah, I actually do. Nancy's a survivor that you need to pay $5 for. I mean, you guys know me. I'm a Nancy man. I would easily pay $5 for Nancy, but Fixated it's a fun perk in my opinion, and I think it really does help you learn a lot as a survivor. So next up, we'll taking a look at Stakeout. This is teachable from David Tapp, and well, Mr. Detective Tapp is known for having kind of underwhelming perks. Stakeout is not that good in my opinion. Basically what it does is it makes it so that whenever you're within the killer's terror radius for 15 seconds, you gain 1 token, and for each token that you have, all the way up to 4 at tier 3, if you hit a good skill check instead of a great skill check, it'll count it as a great skill check instead. So you'll get the points, you'll get the extra progress that a great skill check would give you, only by hitting a good skill check. If you hit a great one, it won't consume a token, that's really nice. But yeah, this isn't worth it, guys, at all. Yeah, I think it grants a little bit of extra generator progress as well if you have a token, but this is not a perk that's worth buying in the slightest, in my opinion. This used to be really solid against the old Ruin, but ever since Ruin got changed, this doesn't have a place in the meta at all, in my opinion. Now for our killer perks, first up we have Unnerving Presence. This is a perk from the Trapper, one of my favorite killers, who also has a very, very underwhelming perk in Unnerving Presence. Now, most of you know, I think Agitation and Brutal Strength are okay on Trapper, or sorry, from the Trapper, but Unnerving Presence really is one of those perks that you just look at and it doesn't really help you that much. This will be helpful on possible skill checks build that you run with the Doctor, because essentially what this perk does, and I realized I haven't explained it yet, is it makes your skill checks a lot more frequent and a lot smaller if you're within the killer's terror radius. So if you're a doctor and you have people in madness and their skill checks are already shaky and random on the on the screen, and then almost on top of that they're really small and they come really often, yeah, it could really mess with you. But against experienced survivors, this perk, if anything, is actually a hindrance to you because it gives them more skill checks, which gives them more opportunities to hit great skill checks, which will allow them to finish their generator, finish their heal a lot quicker. So do I think this is worth getting? No, not at all. Don't bother putting Auric Cells into this at all. And for our last perk, we have Iron Maiden. This is a teachable from the Legion. And basically what you do is you open lockers quicker, and if somebody jumps out of a locker, they scream and they'll be exposed for a little bit. Bad. That's all I can say about it. This has its place with Huntress and Reload builds, where you run, I can't remember what her, Deerskin Gloves I think is her reloading add-on. With Iron Maiden, you can open the locker and you actually finish your animation so quickly while reloading that the locker stays open, which is a pretty funny thing to see. But aside from that, this doesn't really have its place. I guess you could run it on people like Nurse or Billy, where survivors like to hide in lockers against them to try and dodge attacks. But as a whole, I think this is a very underwhelming perk and not worth buying either. So anyways, guys, that's been our Shrine of Secrets review for this week. I didn't forget. See, I told you guys I wouldn't forget. And I'll see you in the next week.